I would like to tell you that Sydney has been through a winter wave the last couple of days, so I am wearing my very raggedy jumper, which is why you're not seeing below my neck. Hello darlings, it's Tess. As I always say, mind this traffic noise because we live next to a freaking highway.
Sorry.
I have something very, very exciting to tell you. Mum and I are going to a Jane Austen Regency dance festival down in Canberra. It is a Jane Austen festival by name, but like I'm kind of scared because I haven't read any of her books in such a long time. I may as well say to somebody, oh yes, you know, I have read Northanger Abbey, but I was 11 and I can't remember shit about it, so
It was, la-di-da.
Shall I tell you about the time we studied Rebecca for an entire term at school and all I can remember of that book is the first line?
Oh no!
The Austen masterwork that everyone associates with her is Pride and Prejudice, and that came out in 1813. Do you know what else is set in 1813? Yes, Netflix's new binge-worthy series, Bridgerton.
I do not share.
I might be a 2020s revolution-hungry literal witch, but that doesn't mean an aesthetically exploding period piece is beyond the reaches of my adoration, even though you might not associate them with me. I mean, my love for Pride and Prejudice 2005, that cultural reset, that love is also exploding, but that film is a lot more realistic. Fun fact, watching that film with the director's commentary was one of the first concrete times I can remember of me realizing that I needed to be a filmmaker, because hearing Joe Wright go into all of these details about the characters and the setting and the work and how much he loved everything, I just knew that I had to do it too. So I could go on and on about those feelings, but let's just stick to Bridgerton. I just thought I would tell you that the muddy hems in P&P are just as beautiful to me as the diamond necklaces in Bridgerton.
My goodness, did you see her hem? 6 inches deep in mud. She looked positively medieval.
A lot of people have described Bridgerton as like alt-Regency fanfic, and I feel like that is very, very telling. Like jewels and colours everywhere, satins, ruffles, flowers in hair, attention-grabbing accessories, coloured gloves. Is it realistic? No effing way. But do I love it? Yup.
Wow, what do you think? Too much?
A tad.
The realism of regular Austen universes can be left to the other revelers at this particular festival that we're going to, but my hair means I'm entirely period incorrect, like all the way to begin with. So I may as well get on my unicorn and charge away from total reality just completely and sing while I go. Onward to the sparkly breach, my dears! Oh, and by the way, no, I have not even touched the Bridgerton books. Comment down below if you think I should. So with all this in mind, it was time to think about my costumes. Hiring them isn't really an option for me because the size of my chest prohibits so many things that fit other people, especially things from that particular period of style, especially if they're direct remakes from historical patterns. So if I was buying things, I knew I had to be clever about all of it, and so that's what gives this video its name. Modern purchases and old favourites put together to create proper new looks. So in terms of practicality, there are different events throughout the weekend. There's on Saturday, there's morning tea and then dance lessons, and then a grand ball that night, and then the next day there's a costume parade and then a picnic lunch followed by some more dance games. So I wanted things that are gonna obviously suit each occasion. So I thought something fancy for the ball because it's indoors, so that way if what I'm wearing is a long dress it won't get grassy and muddy from being outside in case it rains. And then I wanted something more practical for the next day that wouldn't get caught under my feet. The thing that I want to do while I'm there is to take loads of photos and videos of everything. I haven't covered a special event or covered a special event, something like that, since the medieval fair in 2018, and so I'm really excited to do that again and just sort of practice my videography skills and see if, you know, I'm really inspired to write a particular screenplay or do a certain thing after this, especially because I would love to direct a period piece one day. So I'll be wandering around with my camera, casually pretending that I'm the DOP in Pride and Prejudice or Bridgerton or Emma or just name any other beautiful movie set in the past.
I just have a lot of feelings.
So anyway, something pretty for the ball, my dress, and then something practical for outdoors. You know what's practical? Pants. Who wore pants in 1813? Boys and men.
How very perfect indeed.
I'm hitting the center of the Regency futch scale. For those unfamiliar with that concept, it's a queer creation used to assess aesthetic style from high femme on one side to masculine on the other. So futch is in the middle. So I'll be using these subsequent occasions in the festival to cause proper bi panic. By night, I'll steal your man, but by day, I'll steal your girl.
Oh, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
For legal reasons, everything that I just said was a joke. The thing about these looks though is that they both required a trip to the dressmakers, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So for the boys' outfit, I'll go from the bottom up. The first thing that men and boys always wore during the Regency period was knee-high black leather boots, and I have a pair of those from when I was about 15 or 16, and by some miracle they still fit. Then there's the pants, which they tuck into the boots. I had a black pair, but the men in Bridgerton and in P&P actually wear brown ones with their black boots during the day, so I thought I'd get brown pants for that reason. I got them in the women's spot of Target, and so hopefully they're gonna last a long time. The other thing I needed was a white button-up shirt, of course. I used to have one, but it doesn't really fit anymore, and by fit, I mean it won't button over my goddamn boobs. God, they ruin everything.
Stop it, both of you! You're spoiling it! You're spoiling everything!
So I needed a shirt, and I got it from the men's section because it needed to be really big in order to be able to button over the aforementioned boobs. Y'all, do you think that purple stain on the back collar of the shirt is there because I've like worn it a bunch of times and tried it on? No. It got like that within like 30 seconds of me trying it on in the shop, not at home, in the shop. And I tried another shirt on in the shop that ended up being too big, and it got some purple on it as well. And I was just like, I don't need two of these shirts. So I just freaking put the one that was too big, which had a little bit of a purple stain on it, just onto the racky thing where you put the stuff that you don't want. And I just booked it so fast out of that Target with the other shirt. Like, bro, it was bad. It was bad.
I'm bad. I'm super bad.
And with this and the pants being from Target, like how I said, I don't usually go for fast fashion. I always try and do like thrifted and charity store or like supporting local indie business, etc. as much as I can, but I didn't have a lot of time to bring this together, and I wanted to limit the amount of money I was using. But because I've needed a white shirt for so long, now that I have one, I know I'm gonna wear it for years. Is it really fast fashion if you do that? Like wear it till it falls apart? Hopefully not. Now, the jacket slash coat that I have on is a legendary piece from my wardrobe, which obviously, like with most coats in that style, you can make them look Regency or Edwardian or Victorian, etc. It is a tailcoat that actually belonged to one of my mum's friends. It was her father's, and many years ago I was going to my costume school formal dressed as Marlene Dietrich in the tuxedo. So mum borrowed this tux jacket from her friend. I've forgotten which friend. I'm so sorry if you're watching this. I owe you so much. But the tailcoat has been in my wardrobe since then. I just feel so glamorous and just everything that I want to be, because I have beautiful dresses, but sometimes you just need something different, you know? You know.
Oh, you'll know, you know. Oh.
So I found a purple waistcoat at this legendary Australian chain store called Lowe's.
At Lowe's! At Lowe's! At Lowe's!
That has affordable men's clothes, everything from like tradie, fluorescent builder gear all the way through to suits. And so the waistcoat that I found was very boxy, very masculine, very much a size too big, but at least it was purple. But then after a couple of days, I realized that I wanted it to be patterned instead, because then I would be more likely to wear it again, etc. So I decided to do something which I've done before, which was get some beautiful fabric and then actually use fabric glue to stick it onto the waistcoat in order to make it look like it was made out of that fabric. Except the last time I did that, it was a very different waistcoat that was a lot smaller and kind of different, where it was easy to glue. So after a while I was like, I don't think I want to muck up this waistcoat with some glue, so I'll get the waistcoat and then I'll get some fabric, and then our local dressmaker can sew the fabric like over the waistcoat instead of me gluing it. So I actually, for the fabric, went out to Campbelltown, which is approximately an hour away from where I live in Sydney, just to go to the Spotlight they have there, Spotlight being a craft store chain that obviously sells fabric, in order to get some of their fabric, because they have the best selection of the Spotlights I've been to in Sydney. Like, the place is huge and they just have so much fabric that's all different. And so I knew I wanted to go there so I could have the best choice. And so I picked out a floral fabric and a blue paisley fabric, and I love them both, and I didn't know which of them I was going to pick. But in the end, I figured out the agonizing decision, and the floral came out on top. I took the waistcoat and the fabric to our local dressmaker, and I was quickly told that making an entire new waistcoat out of that fabric would actually be easier than sewing it over the waistcoat I already had. I have no idea how and why it was easier, but obviously someone who sews for a living knows better than me. And so I had to wait a couple of days for my waistcoat, but when I finally got it, it was so beautiful. And we could use the other one as like a measurement for me to be able to say, oh yeah, here's the purple one, but I want it to be bigger here, smaller here, I want it to button. So it wasn't really a waste of money, the purple one, because they could use it as a reference. So I really love that that kind of, you know, ended up helping me out, even if I don't use the purple waistcoat this time. Another thing that I'm also super excited for though is my cravat. I've never worn one before, and I'm going for a deliberate mismatch with my waistcoat, and no, a Bridgerton brother wouldn't do that.
He likes me much better than you, Benedict. Did you say that? Everyone says that.
But I would, so I'm departing from their style deliberately. It's this gorgeous silk scarf that I found in my pile of accessories, and it was probably mum's, which is the case of most of my scarves, but it was made in India, and it's this beautiful pink, purple, green palette, and those are actually my three favorite colors, and they're also three colors that appear on the waistcoat, so that's good for the, you know, different print, same colors thing that I'm sure we have all done at a certain point. Actually, not everyone has done clashing prints, because not everyone is a maximalist. It's pretty obvious. I can't wait to look like a proper bohemian dandy of the 19th century, like Lord Byron or Oscar Wilde. Oh, certainly the queer women that those guys hung around with that have gone unnamed by history. We had this old red cravat of my grandfather's to like use as a reference for me to see what length the scarf needed to be when it was rolled up. Bam! There you go. My cunning plan for a marvelous mask moment. So, here's what I have for my femme flirtation at the grand ball.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
I went with this dress of mine that I actually got when I was 16 from a chain store, and by some miracle it still fit, it just wasn't very comfortable, so that's why we took it to the dressmaker to put some panels in. I don't know if I already said that. No, you didn't. It is kind of a day dress, like with the colour of it, it's, you know, kind of a fair colour, and it doesn't really have embroidery and sparkles and stuff like that. So I have to go ham on the accessories accessories to make it seem like there's embroidery and feathers and ruffles and jewels and all that kind of stuff. I'm wearing like rose gold and pinky accessories to bring the colors out. So I have white gloves, of course, and a flowery beaded necklace, of which Penny Featherington would be proud. I have a couple of headpieces that I'm trying to choose between depending on how Mum and I end up doing my hair. I've googled Regency hairstyles, so hopefully we can just manage something and it'll be okay. For makeup, I have to go minimalist for once in my entire life because they literally just did not wear makeup back in the day. So no rainbow eyeshadow, no glitter lips, no hiding behind any of that stuff. I'll just have to do the little tricky trick where you have a ton of makeup on in order to make it look like you are not wearing any, which is, you know...
It's genuinely quite stressful.
We are learning the art of the fan.
Alright, my loves, the boy look is on and I honestly love it so much. Like, I'm the 9th Bridgerton sibling as far as I'm concerned.
You are my most favourite brother, do you know that?
So here, I'll show you some of it. This is the cravat that you saw before. This is the waistcoat that I got back from the dressmakers. This is the tailcoat that belonged to my mum's friend. This flower I'm not sure about. I don't know if I'll end up wearing it or not, but for now it looks really, really cute. And then down here we've got the brown pants from Target and my knee-high boots that are getting a little bit caught and scrunched on the pants. I have to pull them up further maybe. But anyway, yes, this is the boy outfit. I absolutely love it, honestly. Okay, now it is time for the girl look, and I am nervous because we've spent a lot of time and money on this dress. Okay, so this is crooked. Whatever, I don't care. I have now got the girl look on. I had to take one of my gloves off because I was using my phone a minute ago and you can't do that like on the screen with gloves, but that's okay. So just imagine I've got the other glove on. But this is the dress on. I absolutely love how the necklace looks, and it looks just as good as I hoped. Very Featherington. I'm worried that it's not gonna stay up high enough, but that's okay, I suppose. Then it looked a bit kind of sacky, so I put on this brown ribbon that I found in my room. And then obviously all the way down, it's very ruffly. I think it looks gorgeous and I love it. So yes, and then for my hair, just a second, I'll get what I think I'll put in my hair. Why didn't you take it into the room with you, you idiots? Go on, go get it.
You must make haste!
This is so crooked, oh my god. But who cares? But I think I'm gonna sort of pile it up on the crown of my head, which was the style at the time.
Which was the style at the time.
So it's cool that I can wear this headband and kind of save some money, because this I bought to match my Downton Abbey dress, which has kind of brownie rose gold beading. And so because this dress is brownie as well, it means it goes, so that's useful. And I've had this flower for years. Donkey's years, as my mother would say.
Donkey!
That I got my eyebrows done today for like once in my entire life. I usually don't bother a lot of the time because it gets expensive, but they were like freaking out of control, and so I just thought I should, you know, take care of that. Anyway, I had so much fun making these bootleg Bridgerton outfits, and I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing them as well. I'm really excited for this festival. I'm excited to see everybody's costumes, especially the people who have put in a lot more time and a lot more money than me. You know, maybe there'll be people there who sew or antique collectors or whatever, but I know that everyone's gonna have a lovely time. I can't wait to take film and video and photos of everybody, so that way everyone can have the beautiful memories of, you know, this dummy can help them capture some of the fun that they have. So anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will probably be about the festival, but hopefully I can get that up really quick. Stay sparkly, and remember, I love you, keep going.